Have you ever wondered why your mind feels louder when the world grows quiet? When the lights fade and you're left alone with your thoughts, it's as if every unfinished dream, every missed chance, every doubt begins to whisper all at once. You close your eyes, but the noise inside doesn't rest. It questions you. It challenges you. It reminds you of the things you said you'd do, but never did. Yet within that noise lies something sacred, the truth that you are not broken, only waiting to remember your own strength. As you listen now, let the tension in your body soften. Let your breath slow down. You are not here to run anymore. You are here to return to yourself, to your purpose, to the focus that life has been trying to give back to you all along. The chaos of the world has made you believe that peace is found in escape. But real peace, deep and unshakable, is found in mastery. The quiet art of aligning your mind with your actions. Tonight is not just another night. It is a beginning disguised as rest. Every inhale draws you closer to balance. Every exhale releases what no longer belongs to you. The distractions, the self-doubt, the noise that steals your focus. You don't need to fight your thoughts. You only need to witness them, let them drift, and choose which ones you will give energy to. Focus is not about force. It is about direction. It is the art of knowing what matters and letting go of what doesn't. Somewhere deep inside you, there is stillness waiting to be remembered. It is not lost. It has never been lost. It is buried under layers of fear and hurry, layers built by years of noise. But tonight, you will begin to uncover it. You will feel what it means to be present, even if the mind tries to wander. You will remember that focus is not a punishment. It is freedom. When you learn to quiet your mind, you begin to hear the voice of truth, the one that says, you are capable, you are enough, you are still becoming. So as you rest, listen not just with your ears, but with your heart. Let these words sink beneath the surface of your awareness. Let them remind you that focus is not about productivity or perfection. It is about connection to your breath, to your body, to the moment that is happening right now. This is where real transformation begins, not when you chase more, but when you choose less. By the end of this journey, you will not only feel calm, you will understand what it means to live with purpose. You will see how focus creates freedom, how discipline becomes peace, and how silence holds the answers that noise could never give you. Stay with these words, and they will stay with you. Let them carry you beyond distraction, beyond fear, beyond the stories you've been told about what you can or cannot do. The greatest obstacle to focus is not distraction itself, but the belief that your attention belongs to the world. Every notification, every demand, every comparison is a hand reaching into your mind, asking for a piece of your energy. You've given so much away that sometimes you forget how powerful your awareness truly is. But what if you took it back? What if you decided that your attention is sacred, that it deserves to serve your growth, not your fears? Focus begins with ownership. When you reclaim your awareness, you reclaim your life. You start to see that most of your exhaustion doesn't come from doing too much, but from doing what doesn't matter. Your energy leaks through tiny cracks, through worry, through scrolling, through silent competition with others who are just as lost as you. You do not owe the world your constant reaction. You owe yourself your full presence. To focus is to remember what truly matters. It's the quiet rebellion against the chaos that demands your obedience. It's a decision to value depth over speed, intention over impulse. True focus does not come from force. It grows from clarity, the kind that only appears when you slow down long enough to hear your own inner guidance. You cannot follow what you cannot feel. And that's why this moment, this calm, this stillness is not weakness. It's the foundation of mastery. Your mind is not your enemy. It's a wild instrument that's been left untuned for too long. With awareness, you can train it. With patience, you can guide it. When thoughts wander, don't chase them. Watch them pass. Each time you return to your breath, to this moment, you are building strength. Focus is like a muscle. It grows not through perfection, but through gentle persistence. The mind will resist at first. It will pull you toward noise. That is normal. Every master began here, in the space between distraction and direction. And when you begin to master your focus, everything else begins to change. The small tasks feel lighter because your energy is unified. The noise of others loses its power because your sense of purpose becomes louder. You no longer need to prove your worth through busyness. You begin to move through life with intention, not reaction. That is what peace feels like. Not silence, but harmony. A balance between effort and ease. The more you focus on what truly aligns with your heart, the more life starts to align with you. Opportunities appear not by chance, but by resonance. People who match your frequency begin to enter your path. You start to realize that focus is not just a tool for success, it's a magnet for meaning. When your mind is steady, your choices become pure. You begin to act, not from fear of missing out, but from a quiet confidence that you are exactly where you need to be. So as you breathe deeper, let your body remember what focus feels like. Calm, present, alive. Let your thoughts slow until they match the rhythm of your breath. You are not behind, you are not late. You are here exactly at the point where clarity begins. The power to create, to grow, to transform has always been within you. It waits behind the noise, behind the rush, behind the endless need to be somewhere else. And now, you are learning to return to it. The quiet strength that turns chaos into clarity and intention into freedom. There is a quiet moment between thought and action where your entire life can change. It is the pause before you react, the breath before you decide, the silence before you move. Most people rush through that space. They let emotion, fear, or habit decide for them. But those who learn to stay in that stillness, even for a heartbeat, begin to master the direction of their lives. That is where focus becomes power. Not the kind that dominates or controls, but the kind that transforms chaos into clarity. Every moment you choose awareness over impulse, you strengthen your inner foundation. You stop being a prisoner to circumstance and become the creator of your experience. The world will always try to pull you away from that center, through fear, urgency, and distraction. But every return to stillness is an act of freedom. You are not your thoughts, you are the awareness behind them. You are the one who chooses which thoughts deserve your energy. That choice is the seed of transformation. When you begin to honor that space, your energy shifts. You stop reacting to life and start responding with purpose. You start to notice the subtle beauty in things you used to rush past. The rhythm of your breath, the softness of silence, the quiet pulse of your own being. These are not small things. They are the roots of focus. They are what connect you to the present, where your true strength lives. Distraction thrives on noise. It feeds on urgency. It wants you to believe that your worth is measured by how much you do or how much you have. But focus reminds you that worth is not earned, it is remembered. When you slow down and see clearly, you realize that you already have enough. You already are enough. You don't need to chase what you can attract through alignment. The mind that is calm becomes a magnet for clarity, for opportunity, for peace. The modern world glorifies movement, but movement without meaning leads to exhaustion. Stillness, when chosen with intention, leads to insight. Every master in martial arts, in art, in life has understood this truth. Power does not come from constant effort, it comes from controlled direction. You are learning to harness that same discipline, to move not because you are restless, but because your purpose calls you forward. And as you rest tonight, remember that this discipline is not rigid, it is fluid, like water. Focus is not about suppression, it's about flow. You let thoughts come, and you let them go. You hold on to none, but you resist none either. That balance is where peace is born. The mind learns through repetition, so each breath is a quiet lesson in returning. Each moment of awareness is another step toward mastery. With time, this inner calm will extend beyond the night. It will follow you into your mornings, your work, your relationships. You will carry this centered energy wherever you go. And people will feel it, not because you speak louder, but because you move with intention. That is the essence of focus, to live from within, not from reaction, to move through the world with clarity, calm, and quiet strength. So breathe again, slowly. Feel the weight of the day release its hold on you. This is your practice, not to escape the world, but to return to yourself. Each moment of awareness is a doorway back to freedom. And with every breath, you are stepping through it. Every moment of awareness you create, is an act of strength. It is proof that even when the world feels heavy, you are not powerless. The noise of life can feel endless, a flood of expectations, responsibilities, and distractions. But focus is the bridge that carries you through it. It's not built overnight. It's built through choice, through repetition, through the quiet decision to come back to what truly matters again and again. That is how discipline is born. Not through force, but through remembrance. Your mind will always search for the path of least resistance. It will tell you that comfort is safety, that stillness is laziness, that silence means nothing is happening. But those are illusions created by fear. Growth rarely feels comfortable, and peace often looks empty to those who have forgotten how to listen. True transformation happens not when you fight discomfort, but when you learn to sit with it and let it teach you. The unease you feel is not a sign of failure. It's the signal that you're expanding. The body knows how to rest, but the mind must be taught. It must be reminded that silence is not the absence of progress. It is the preparation for clarity. Each breath you take now is a quiet declaration. I am learning to focus. I am learning to return. I am learning to trust that within the calm, answers begin to surface. The mind cannot hear truth when it's shouting, but when it softens, when it listens, wisdom appears. Every human being has within them a still point, a place untouched by chaos. Most never reach it because they look for it outside of themselves. But that still point is within you, waiting to be uncovered through practice, patience, and presence. It does not demand perfection. It asks only for honesty, to admit when you've drifted, to return without judgment, to forgive the moments you lose focus. This is not weakness. This is mastery in its purest form. The more you practice this return, the more your perception begins to shift. The world doesn't change, you do. What once felt overwhelming begins to feel manageable. What once drained you begins to strengthen you. You start to realize that focus is not about control. It's about surrendering to the moment without resistance. You no longer need to force life to happen. You simply align with it. And in that alignment, everything begins to flow more naturally. Your energy, your creativity, your peace. Even as your eyes grow heavy and your body prepares for rest, your mind continues to train. It learns that stillness is safe. It learns that focus can coexist with relaxation. You don't need to separate action and peace. They are two sides of the same awareness. When you act with focus, you create peace. When you rest with focus, you restore power. This is the rhythm of balance that life has been trying to teach you all along. So breathe into that truth now. Let it settle into your chest. The focus you are building is not temporary. It is becoming part of who you are. Each moment of stillness tonight is shaping the way you will think, move, and live tomorrow. You are no longer chasing control. You are embodying clarity. And as you continue to drift into calm, you are not falling asleep. You are awakening to your true strength, the quiet power that lives within your awareness. The mind you are training tonight is the same mind that will guide you through every challenge ahead. When you strengthen focus, you strengthen everything. Your patience, your resilience, your confidence. Focus is not only the ability to pay attention, it is the art of returning when you drift. Every time you come back to the present, you are rewriting the way your brain reacts to pressure, to chaos, to uncertainty. You are teaching it that calm is power, that control does not come from force, but from awareness. This is how inner mastery begins, not through noise or perfection, but through the gentle repetition of stillness. You learn to watch the waves of thought without being pulled under. You stop fighting what you cannot control, and you start directing what you can, your response, your breath, your energy. The mind that once scattered into 1,000 pieces begins to gather itself. The more you return, the stronger your center becomes, and soon no storm can shake it. In moments of deep focus, the line between effort and peace disappears. You stop chasing outcomes and begin to feel the fullness of the moment itself. There is freedom in that. Freedom from the endless need to prove, to compare, to be more. You realize that your power was never in becoming someone else. It was in remembering who you already are. The world taught you to seek validation outside of yourself, but focus brings it back home. It reminds you that the only approval you truly need is the quiet knowing that you are aligned with your purpose. When you start to live this way, everything around you changes, not because the world becomes easier, but because you do. You move slower, yet achieve more. You speak less, yet your words carry weight. You work with precision, not pressure. That is what happens when focus becomes your natural state. You stop wasting energy on things that don't feed your soul. You start investing your attention like it matters, because it does. Your attention is life. Where it goes, your reality follows. This is why protecting your focus is an act of self-love. It is how you tell yourself, my peace is worth more than my distractions. Every time you choose calm over chaos, you are strengthening your self-respect. You are proving to yourself that discipline is not punishment. It is devotion. The devotion to a higher version of you that already exists, waiting to be lived fully. You may not notice it yet, but this quiet training is changing you. The edges of restlessness are softening. The noise inside you is beginning to fade. Each breath is grounding you deeper into awareness, reminding you that presence is not something you achieve. It is something you return to. You are not becoming calm. You are remembering that you have always been calm underneath the noise. So stay with this breath. Feel it move through you like a steady rhythm, aligning every part of you into harmony. With every inhale, your awareness expands. With every exhale, your resistance dissolves. You are no longer searching for focus. You are living it. And in this moment, you are not merely resting. You are awakening the kind of strength that moves quietly, thinks clearly, and acts with purpose. The kind of strength that will carry you into tomorrow with peace, precision, and power. There comes a moment when you stop trying to quiet the world and instead rise above its volume. That moment begins inside. The instant you realize peace isn't something you search for, it's something you choose. The noise around you will never fully disappear, but your relationship with it can change. Focus does not require silence, it requires strength. The kind that allows you to move through distraction without losing yourself in it. That strength is growing in you now. Each breath is sharpening your awareness, building the kind of mental clarity that no chaos can take away. You've spent so much of your life reacting to people, to pressure, to expectations. But reaction is the language of the unfocused mind. Response is the language of mastery. And you are learning to respond. You are learning to pause before emotion takes over. You are learning to breathe before the world pulls you into its current. That pause is your power. It's the space where wisdom lives, where focus turns into peace, and peace turns into strength. The truth is, focus isn't about effort, it's about alignment. When your mind, body, and breath move in harmony, energy flows effortlessly. You stop feeling drained and start feeling directed. You stop forcing outcomes and start trusting your inner rhythm. This is not the kind of focus that burns you out. It's the kind that restores you. It allows you to work deeply, to love fully, and to rest completely. That is the essence of balance, and balance is the foundation of mastery. As you feel your breath deepen, notice how your thoughts begin to slow. This stillness is not emptiness. It's awareness taking form. It's your consciousness returning home after wandering for too long. When you live distracted, you are scattered. Part of you here, part of you there. But when you live with focus, you gather all of yourself into the moment. That is what presence feels like. Wholeness. You no longer need to chase clarity because you are standing in it. You no longer need to search for peace because you have become it. There will always be things that try to pull you away, unfinished goals, external noise, the whispers of doubt. But none of them hold power unless you feed them with your attention. You are learning to choose where your energy goes. That choice is freedom. It's the realization that you are not at the mercy of your mind. You are its master. The same thoughts that once distracted you can now become tools of awareness. The same emotions that once overwhelmed you can now deepen your understanding. That is what true focus creates. Transformation, not suppression. The more you embody this awareness, the lighter you feel. You begin to notice how little you actually need to feel whole. You discover that stillness is not a void but a doorway, a path inward that reveals the strength you've always carried. With every calm breath, your mind clears another layer of noise. With every moment of awareness, you take another step into your true nature. And as you drift deeper into this calm, remember this truth. Focus is not a skill you acquire. It is a state you awaken to. It's the natural rhythm of a mind aligned with purpose, a heart aligned with truth, and a soul aligned with peace. You are not learning to become something new. You are remembering what you were before the world told you to hurry, to chase, to forget. This is who you are beneath it all, clear, steady, powerful, and free. The deeper you sink into stillness, the more you realize how much energy you've spent resisting what simply is. The mind has been trained to fight everything it doesn't understand. Discomfort, uncertainty, silence. Yet all that resistance only strengthens the grip of chaos. The moment you stop fighting, peace finds you. Focus isn't about controlling every thought. It's about releasing the need to. When you let go of control, awareness naturally rises. It's not something you create. It's what remains when the noise fades. There is a quiet intelligence inside you, one that does not shout but simply knows. It speaks in the pauses, in the rhythm of your breath, in the subtle feeling of alignment that happens when you stop pretending to be more and finally allow yourself to be real. This intelligence is the essence of focus, not forced concentration, but effortless presence. It is the awareness that sees everything clearly, without judgment. And when you touch it, even for a moment, you begin to feel what freedom truly means. Every breath you take is an invitation to return to that space. You don't have to wait for perfect conditions. You don't need to silence your thoughts. You only need to watch them pass. Focus deepens not through struggle but through surrender. The paradox is that the more you try to focus, the more resistance you create. But the more you relax into awareness, the more focus arises naturally. Like water settling after a storm, the mind clears when you stop disturbing it. You've been taught to measure progress by speed, success by output, and peace by absence of struggle. But life is not a race, and your worth cannot be measured in motion. The deepest growth happens in stillness, in the invisible transformation that occurs when the mind rests in awareness. That is where strength rebuilds itself. That is where clarity is born. When you allow yourself to stop running, everything you were chasing begins to come toward you. As your awareness grows, you begin to see patterns, the thoughts that drain you, the habits that numb you, the beliefs that keep you small. You start to recognize how much energy you've spent carrying things that were never yours to hold. And with each exhale, you begin to let them go. The weight of proving yourself, the noise of comparison, the illusion that you must always be doing. What remains is lightness, a clarity that doesn't need to shout to be heard. Focus at its highest form is not just about attention, it's about intention. It's about aligning your actions with your truth. Every choice you make from this awareness carries a different energy. It moves with precision, it ripples with meaning. This is how ordinary moments become sacred, not because of what you do, but because of the consciousness you bring to them. So as you breathe now, let your awareness spread like light, filling every corner of your being. Feel how your body softens as your mind opens. You are not separate from the calm you seek. You are made of it. The same stillness that moves mountains lives within you. It has always been there, waiting for you to remember. And as you rest in this awareness, you begin to see, focus is not about holding tighter, it's about letting go completely until only truth remains. The more you let go, the clearer everything becomes. The mind that once scattered in 100 directions begins to settle like dust after the wind. What once felt complicated starts to feel simple, almost effortless. This is the natural rhythm of awareness. When you stop forcing life to make sense, it begins to. You start to notice patterns of energy, subtle truths that were always there but hidden beneath distraction. You begin to see that clarity is not something you find, it's something that emerges when confusion dissolves. In this calm, you start to remember what truly matters, not the endless chase for recognition or success, but the quiet joy of being fully present in your own existence. You realize that you don't need more time, you need more attention. You don't need more possessions, you need more presence. Focus turns ordinary moments into miracles. It transforms waiting into patience, work into devotion, silence into wisdom. This is the power of awareness. It turns everything it touches into meaning. Each breath you take reminds you that the present moment is enough. You don't have to escape your reality to find peace. Peace begins exactly where you are, with exactly what you have. When you stop seeking outside yourself, you start uncovering the strength that has been quietly waiting within you all along. The heart opens, the mind steadies, the body relaxes, and for the first time in a long time, you feel whole. You begin to see that most of life's pain comes not from what happens, but from the stories the mind tells about it. The mind loves to wander into past regrets and future fears, but neither exist here, in this breath. This is the secret the masters have always known. The power of presence is stronger than any memory, any worry, any storm. When you learn to anchor yourself here, now, you step into a state of unshakable strength. You stop being pulled by what was or what might be, and you start living from what is. Focus becomes your foundation. It teaches you how to walk calmly through chaos, how to act without haste, how to live without being consumed. You learn to see through the illusions of busyness and understand that stillness is not inactivity, it is mastery. It is from stillness that vision arises. It is from silence that clarity speaks. The more deeply you root yourself in awareness, the more effortless your actions become. You no longer waste energy trying to control outcomes. You begin to trust the flow of life, and in that trust, something extraordinary happens. You no longer measure yourself by what you produce, but by how deeply you are present in each moment. The external world loses its power to dictate your worth. You move through it with quiet authority, grounded, steady, unshaken. This is true strength, not loud, not aggressive, but calm and immovable. It is the kind of strength that allows you to face uncertainty with peace and meet challenge with clarity. As you drift deeper into calm, feel this truth settle within you. Focus is not a battle to win, but a harmony to remember. You were never meant to chase peace. You were meant to return to it. Beneath every layer of noise, every doubt, every distraction, peace has been waiting, patient, steady, eternal. And as you rest in awareness, you realize that the destination you've been seeking has always been the space within your own breath. When you begin to live from this quiet center, life no longer feels like a race. You stop chasing moments and start inhabiting them. You start seeing beauty in simplicity, in the breath that moves through you, in the stillness that holds you, in the awareness that guides you. Focus becomes more than a skill, it becomes your natural way of being. You no longer need to remind yourself to return to the present because you never truly leave it. The noise of the world continues, but it no longer controls your rhythm. You move through it like water, calm, fluid, unstoppable. Every distraction that once stole your energy begins to lose its pull. You realize that attention is the most valuable thing you own, and now you choose where it goes. You stop pouring it into worry, fear, or doubt. Instead, you direct it toward creation, toward peace, toward the quiet strength inside you. This shift changes everything. What once felt heavy begins to feel light. What once overwhelmed you now becomes effortless. You no longer need to prove your worth through doing. Your being is enough. This awareness starts to shape how you see the world. You begin to understand that everything external is temporary, fleeting, changing. But awareness, your capacity to see, to feel, to be present, is constant. It is the one thing that never leaves you, and the more you rest in that truth, the freer you become. The things that used to control you, deadlines, opinions, noise, begin to fade into the background. Focus draws you inward, to the quiet space where peace and purpose coexist. It is here that true power is born, the kind that doesn't shout or demand, but radiates silently. It's the power of presence, of being fully alive in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this moment. When you live this way, you no longer chase success, you attract alignment. You no longer seek validation, you embody confidence. The world starts to move with you, not against you, because you are no longer resisting it. You've remembered how to flow with life instead of fighting it. This is the essence of focus. Not rigidity, not tension, but surrender with awareness. It's the discipline to stay awake in every moment, even the quiet ones, even the ones that don't seem important. Because those are the moments that shape you. The mind loves to look ahead, but your power is here. Your focus is your connection to the present, and your presence is your gateway to transformation. With every breath, you strengthen this connection. You start to trust that clarity doesn't come from trying harder, but from allowing yourself to see. You begin to feel gratitude, not just for the good moments, but for all of them, even the challenges, even the silence. Because now you understand that everything is part of your training, part of the process of returning to your center. As your body softens and your breath deepens, feel this truth settle gently into your awareness. Focus is peace in motion. It is stillness expressed through purpose. It is life lived consciously, moment by moment. The more you trust this rhythm, the more natural it becomes. You are not forcing focus, you are becoming it. You are not learning to be calm, you are remembering that calm is your original state. Beneath every thought, beneath every breath, that stillness is waiting. And tonight, you are finally allowing yourself to live from it. The deeper you fall into stillness, the more you understand that focus is not about fixing yourself. It's about freeing yourself. For so long, you've been taught that something within you must be improved, polished, perfected. But focus shows you a different truth. It shows you that nothing has ever been missing. What you've been searching for has always been here, underneath layers of distraction and self-doubt. When the noise fades, you begin to feel the quiet pulse of your true self, whole, steady, unbroken. This realization changes everything. You no longer look at life as a problem to solve, but as a path to walk with awareness. You start to see that presence is not passive, it's powerful. It's the foundation upon which every meaningful action rests. The person who can stay calm when others panic, who can listen deeply when others shout, who can see clearly when others react. That person holds real power, and that power does not come from control, it comes from clarity. Each time you bring your attention back to the present, you are reclaiming your mind from the chaos of the world. You are proving to yourself that peace is a choice, not a reward. You begin to move with intention, speak with purpose, act with compassion. You stop chasing what is temporary and start nurturing what is eternal. This is the quiet revolution that happens inside a focused mind, the transformation from confusion to coherence, from resistance to flow. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Focus turns from effort into instinct. It stops feeling like something you do and starts becoming something you are. You begin to live in a state of alignment where every decision feels lighter, every breath feels deeper, every moment feels alive. You no longer need to force clarity because you've created the conditions for it to rise on its own. Your awareness becomes your compass, guiding you through uncertainty without fear. And in that awareness, you begin to understand that even your struggles have purpose. The moments that test your focus are the ones that strengthen it. The distractions that challenge your peace become opportunities to practice presence. The discomfort that once made you retreat now becomes your teacher. You realize that focus is not about avoiding difficulty, it's about meeting it with calm strength. Each challenge you face is a mirror, showing you where your awareness still wavers, and each time you return, you grow stronger. This is the beauty of transformation. It doesn't happen all at once, but it never stops. With every breath, you refine your energy. With every pause, you deepen your presence. With every choice to stay centered, you are shaping a new version of yourself, one that acts with clarity, speaks with grace, and lives with peace. You are no longer chasing meaning through achievement, you are creating meaning through awareness. So breathe again. Let your breath be your anchor. Let your awareness expand beyond the noise of thought and settle into the quiet truth that lives beneath it. This is the space where focus becomes freedom, where stillness becomes strength, where the mind and heart finally move as one. You are not escaping life by being here. You are entering it fully awake, aware, and aligned with the deepest rhythm of your being.